welcome back to the channel. I'm Stacy and you're watching Pop Culture Time Machine, where we hit rewind and relive the legendary, the cringy, and the unforgettable moments that happened this very week, way back when. All right, let's kick it off with Motown Records being founded in Detroit on January 12th, 1959, and had a huge impact on pop culture and not just in music. It influenced fashion, dance, social attitudes, and even civil rights. Motown was sometimes called Hitsville, USA, and became the first African American owned record label to have massive mainstream success. Its artists like the Supremes, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, and the Temptations crossed over from African American audiences to Caucasian audiences, which was a big deal in the 1960s. This helped normalize African American musicians on the national stage, influencing future generations. Motown also developed a signature sound, catchy melodies, strong backbeats, and smooth vocals. This was called the Motown sound. It became a template for pop music worldwide. Songs weren't just hits in African American communities, they dominated the Billboard charts, changing what popular music had sounded like. Motown artists set trends in style, choreography, and public image. The polished performances and matching outfits of groups like the Temptations or the Supremes influenced how pop stars today presented themselves. Teens across America, African American and Caucasian, idolized these performers. Detroit, known for the auto industry, became a symbol of black entrepreneurship and creativity through Motown. Motown songs often avoided overt political messages, but the success of African American artists in mainstream culture was itself a quiet form of activism, showing African American excellence in business and in art. Later, some Motown artists like Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder started addressing social issues and equality directly in their music. Motown didn't just influence American pop culture, but it did help shape British pop and soul music, inspiring bands like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. So, in essence, today, the Motown sound is a timeless style that continues to influence R&B, pop, and even hip hop. Now, moving on to screen time, and I don't mean TikTok. Let's not forget those iconic TV shows like Stanford and Son, which debuted on January 14th, 1972 on NBC and quickly became one of the most influential sitcoms in American pop culture. The show starred Red Fox as Fred Sanford and Damon Wilson as his son Lamond, centering on an African American family running a junk business in Los Angeles. At a time when most TV shows were predominantly Caucasian, Sanford and Sons brought working class African American characters and humor into mainstream American homes. It paved the way for later African American led sitcoms like The Jeffersons, Good Times, The Cosby Show, and Martin. The show also mixed slapstick, witty banter, and social commentary, which influenced the style of sitcoms for many decades to come. It showed that sitcoms could be both funny and address real life issues like poverty and family dynamics. The show presented a realistic view of everyday struggles for a working class family, which was rare at the time. It also made audiences laugh while subtly touching on the economic challenges, generational conflicts, and urban life. The show's style, like Fred's flat caps, suspenders, and colorful shirts, became associated with comedic flair. Its theme song, "The Street Beater" by Quincy Jones, became instantly recognizable and part of pop culture. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. But it was often used as well in other shows and parodies. In retrospect, Sanford and Son helped normalize African American humor and family life on TV. It demonstrated that shows led by African American actors could draw huge audiences and critical acclaim, influencing TV production decisions for decades to come. Red Fox's role made him a legendary figure in comedy and inspiring countless comedians in the future. Here is your Did You Know of the Week. On January 13th, 1888, in Washington, D.C., by a group of scientists, explorers, and scholars, the National Geographic Society was founded. Its mission was to increase and diffuse geographic knowledge. While it started as a scientific organization, it eventually had a huge impact on pop culture. Though its magazines, first published in 1888 and later its TV channels, National Geographic, made exploration, nature, and science exciting for everyone, not just academics. People could see photographs of faraway lands, wildlife, and cultures. This was revolutionary before the internet or TV. It created a culture of curiosity, making learning about the world cool and inspiring generations of explorers and scientists. National Geographic is famous for its striking photography. The yellow bordered magazine became instantly recognizable. Their photos shaped how people imagined remote places, exotic wildlife, and different cultures, often influencing fashion design and art. For example, famous covers like The Afghan Girl, photographed by Steve McCurry, became cultural icons. The National Geographic Society brand did expand into TV shows, documentaries, and digital media, influencing pop culture worldwide. Shows like National Geographic Explorer and One Strange Rock turned science and adventure into mainstream entertainment. It inspired other media like Disney's nature documentaries, Planet Earth series, and adventure films. National Geographic made people care about conservation and endangered species before it was trendy. Their work contributed to the rise of eco-conscious pop culture, influencing music, fashion, and media messaging about the planet. In retrospect, the National Geographic Society turned geography, science, and exploration into a central part of pop culture, blending education, entertainment, and stunning visuals in a way that shaped how people saw the world. And that's a wrap on This Week in Pop Culture History. Which memory hit you the hardest? Also, let me know in the comments what you remember from this week in a past year, any year. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a throwback. I'm Stacy, and I'll see you next Thursday, same time, same retro channel.